You were conditioned to forget the only moment capable of syncing your body with the cosmos. Before any words are spoken, the day has already spoken to you. It whispered in the exact tone of the light that came through your window, but you didn't listen. You were caught in the invisible delay of a disconnected body, your internal clock out of sync, your vital energy scattered, your subtle axis locked in places science cannot measure, yet which shape your entire experience. Waking up tired, feeling the weight before even getting out of bed, repeating automatic habits as if life had been reduced to a sequence of functions that is not natural. It is a symptom of a biological field that has fallen out of tune with the original frequency of existence. And the most unsettling part is, it all begins the moment you wake up. There is a hidden code in that moment, something so precise and quiet it escapes the mind's control, but the body can feel it, or at least it used to. Because everything has been domesticated, the cycles, the instincts, the spontaneous gestures. Even the act of opening your eyes has lost its sacredness. But there is a key, an ancient practice returning. 3 forgotten micromovements that reprogram the body in the very first seconds of the morning. They are not regular exercises, nor modern techniques. They are physiological gateways that reach something deeper. Your neuroendocrine axis, your vital energy, and your cosmic memory. By activating them, you don't just wake up. You reconnect with the sun, with the earth, with the quiet intelligence of your own body. And it all begins before the first thought. While the world wakes in disarray, there is a buried knowledge that can realign your body with the exact pulse of creation. It is not found in self-help books, nor in motivational speeches, because what will be revealed here was not made to inspire. It was made to reactivate. A silent wisdom hidden beneath layers of modern life, technology, and hurry, and it begins at the very moment when light first touches your skin. Dawn is not just an astronomical phenomenon, it is a code, a calling. The first light of day activates a forgotten system, a biological, energetic, and spiritual mechanism that was meant to serve as a daily portal for regeneration. But instead, thousands of bodies continue to wake in noise, in imbalance, in complete disconnection. You were trained to hit the snooze button, but there is a real button, an inner one that activates the reconfiguration of your neuroendocrine axis. And the key to unlocking it is not found in medication, supplements, or imported habits. It lies in an almost microscopic movement, in a subtle sequence of gestures that echo from the sacrum to the skull. The ancient Egyptians knew this. Hermes Trismegistus left clear clues when he said that the micro reflects the macro, and that the rhythm of existence beats perfectly when body and cosmos are in sync. The first hour of the day was sacred in the mystery schools, because that was the moment of reset, the instant the body reconnected to the whole. What will be revealed in this video is a hermetic motor protocol of reactivation, 3 micro-movements that, when done at dawn, awaken dormant functions in the body, the natural release of vital energy, hormonal alignment, and perceptual expansion. They act directly on forgotten key structures, the sacrum, the diaphragm, and the base of the skull, entry points and redistributors of creative force. This is not stretching, nor conventional physical exercise. This is about waking up with biocosmic intelligence, about remembering that the body is a quantum instrument, and that the sun doesn't only light up the world outside, it activates inner commands when you know how to respond. These movements were hidden by the mechanization of daily life, but those who practice them, even for just 3 minutes, feel the immediate impact. By the end of this video, you'll have a practice you can use today. No effort, no complex ritual, No need for belief, just presence. And the reward is clear. Mental clarity, restored vitality, and a visceral reconnection with the rhythm of life. Because the true miracle is not in waking up. It's in how you choose to wake up. Before medicine existed as a science, before psychology defined its categories, there was already a hidden understanding among the initiates. The body is an antenna, and its alignment with the cycles of the cosmos was treated not as a belief, but as a spiritual technology. Hermes Trismegistus, a central figure in the Hermetic schools, taught that what is below is like what is above. But few truly grasped the practical depth of that statement. It was not just a philosophical idea. It was a biological activation instruction. In the Emerald Tablet, the concept of rhythm is encoded as a universal law. Everything vibrates, everything pulses, everything swings between extremes, with mathematical precision, including you. If the universe breathes, then your body should breathe with it. But most people have forgotten how to do that. And I'm not talking about pulmonary breathing, but the subtle oscillation of the sacrocranial axis, which pulses in sync with the Earth's magnetic field. The Egyptians called it the breath of the invisible sun, a nearly imperceptible movement that flowed from the base of the spine to the top of the head in the first minutes of the morning. In Vedic India, the same phenomenon was described as the Surja Nadi, a solar channel that activates consciousness when awakened at sunrise. In both traditions, there was a common principle. Reconnection must happen through the body. It's not enough to pray, meditate, or think positively. You must move. Awaken the body with specific gestures that signal to your biology. The day has begun, the mission resumes. The temple wasn't made of stone, it was made of flesh. And by recognizing the body as a mirror of creation, the ancients developed millennia-old morning sequences, gestures, tremors, micro-twists that activated the vertical axis of consciousness. That wisdom has been dissolved in modernity, but it hasn't disappeared. It's simply hid in plain sight. You carry the same centers, the same solar clock, the same axis of reconnection. And when that axis awakens, everything around you changes. Perception, energy, decisions, synchronicity. It is the body returning to the place it was never meant to leave. The throne of conscious creation. There is a hidden pulse between your bones. It vibrates between the sacrum and the skull, in an invisible cycle that comes before thought itself. Scientists at Stanford have identified this rhythm as a real physiological movement, one that occurs even when we're not breathing, the so-called craniosacral pulse. It's as if the body were tuned to something beyond mechanical time, an internal clock shaped by forces conventional medicine has never dared to consider. This pulse not only exists, it oscillates with measurable precision. Its cycle adjusts to ambient light. When the first rays touch the retina, the pineal gland is activated, and with it, the inner rhythm resets. But what almost no one knows is that this mechanism is it doesn't just respond to the external world. It can be activated from the inside out. That's what makes micromovements at dawn so powerful. They don't mimic the pulse, they awaken it. Fine motor neurophysiology has already shown that slow gestures, performed with somatic precision, affect the thalamic core and the hypothalamic pituitary neurons regulating the hormones of awakening. In other words, your body can rewrite the dawn. 3 gestures, 1 minute, a new cycle. And the most surprising part, the brain doesn't distinguish whether the stimulus comes from sunlight or from an internal impulse. The biological ritual of sunrise can be invoked even in silence, even in darkness. There is a moment before the world wakes up, when time is still malleable, when the body has not yet locked into the automatic loop of repetition. This is the space where the ancient masters used to operate, and it is exactly where you are going to act. This is not about stretching the body. It's about reprogramming what still pulses between your bones before the system takes hold. Step 1. Unlocking the sacrum. Lie down with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. Begin a barely noticeable rocking of your sacrum, as if you were trying to feel the ground with it. No force, no intention, just presence. This microtremor activates the pelvic plexus and echoes through the lower vagus nerve. It's like switching on the energy generator at the base. Do not expect obvious sensations. Somatic intelligence works in silence. Continue for 1 minute. Step 2. The diaphragmatic wave, with your hands resting gently on your ribs. Let the air enter through your nose without guidance. Then, allow the air to reach your diaphragm and gently press upward with your fingers, not pushing, just guiding your focus. This minimal touch helps the brain recognize the area. The body responds with a spontaneous sigh. That's a sign that the internal tension is releasing. Awareness then starts to circulate again. The base vibrates in silence, as if something primordial were awakening there. And now that the breath has found a place to listen, we move toward the command center of the dawn, the base of the skull. Step 3. Occipital awakening. Gently touch the back of your neck, right at the junction between the skull and the cervical spine. There lies a forgotten portal, the point where the spinal cord communicates with the etheric. Press with 2 fingers, as if saying to your body, I am here. Stay there for 30 seconds. Then, release the touch and feel the weight of your head fall ever so slightly backward, as if the sky itself were pulling it. This is the reticular field activating your awakened intelligence. This point, often ignored by conventional medicine, is a key ignition center for the pineal rhythm. You are not just moving, you are restoring a command frequency between body and cosmos. Step 4. Reorienting the inner gaze. With your eyes still closed, bring your attention to the orbits. Feel the eyeballs, then gently move them upward and inward, as if you were trying to see something above the eye line, but without straining. This small adjustment activates the thalamic visual tract and prepares the brain for a new mode of perception. It's like realigning the quantum GPS of consciousness. Stay there. You have just tuned 3 of the most overlooked centers in your body, and at the same time, the most powerful ones. Now that your body has entered resonance with these primordial micromovements, it's time to seal the experience with a gesture that doesn't belong to technique, but to presence. Nothing mechanical, nothing automatic. This is an inner state made visible, as if, for a moment, the universe were breathing through you. Close your eyes for a brief moment, not to disconnect from the world, but to tune into it. Notice there is a pulse in the space between thoughts, a living silence that doesn't ask to be understood, only heard. In this rarefied space, gently place your right hand on the center of your chest. No force, no desire to fix anything. Just touch. The gesture activates a forgotten circuit between the physical heart and the toroidal matrix that surrounds it. This is where the body becomes a temple. Remain there for 3 breaths, each one shaped by a new rhythm, not imposed, but revealed. If the mind tries to take control, let go. If the body tries to escape, welcome it. Only then, inhale as if you were rediscovering your original breath, the one that comes before your name and your story. As you exhale, imagine a subtle light rising from the base of your spine to the top of your head. Don't visualize, feel. It is a vertical alignment of your axis, as if spiritual gravity were being redirected. Now, open your eyes slowly, but without rushing. without expectation, as if he was seeing the world for the first time. There is a subtle shift in how the light enters, in the way time settles. In that moment, the synchronization is sealed. Not because of the movement, but because of the awareness that manifested through it. It is a return to the cosmic gesture, the one that was never taught, but has always been inscribed in the architecture of your being. You didn't activate a method, you remembered a code. Victor never understood why he woke up tired, even after a full night's sleep. The alarm would go off, his eyes would open, but it was as if his soul didn't follow his body. There was an invisible gap between him and the day, as if a part of him was still somewhere else. For years, he followed the same protocol as everyone else. Caffeine, screens, goals, productivity. But something inside him remained stuck, not in thought, but in rhythm, as if his frequency were out of sync with the rest of the universe. A subtle noise no one else could hear, but that screamed inside. One day, without explanation, Victor stopped. Not by conscious choice, but because his body refused to repeat the pattern. He sat there, on the edge of the bed, without reaching for his phone, without rushing to the shower. He simply felt what was present. A light vibration rose from the base of his spine, as if the ground itself were breathing beneath his feet. Without knowing why, he placed his hand on his sacrum, an ancient, inexplicable impulse, then on his diaphragm, then on the center of his skull. Each touch was almost imperceptible, but something inside was reorganizing, as if his bones were listening to a song he had forgotten. That was the day sunrise felt different, not just because of the light, but because of the time it carried. Victor was no longer just waking up, he was returning to his body. And in that return, everything realigned. His focus, his breath, his energy, even the silence. Since then, Victor no longer wakes in a rush. He begins the day with an ancestral gesture, secret, intimate, a simple code, yet sacred. Not as a technique, but as a reminder. The universe doesn't begin out there. It begins within, in the moment you choose to synchronize. The greatest barrier to accessing this solar code is not technical, it is vibrational. It's the unconscious belief that something so subtle cannot bring real transformation. We are conditioned to expect big events, complex instructions, or elaborate rituals. When something simple and quiet presents itself, the ego resists. The mind wants noise. The spirit wants rhythm. This inner conflict creates a static that disrupts the practice before it reveals results. The body still carries the rush of the outside world. It doesn't know how to wait. It doesn't know how to listen. But there is a way to dissolve this resistance, by using rhythm itself as a key for transmutation. Instead of forcing the practice, breathe with it. Instead of demanding immediate results, feel the adjustment like tuning an instrument. This is not about repeating movements. It's about restoring frequency to presence. When you align your gesture with the rising sun, even for just 1 minute, you reprogram the inner clock that regulates everything. Hormones, focus, sleep, emotions, decisions. The practice doesn't need to be long, it just needs to be real. A micro gesture, done with coherent intention, is worth more than hours of empty movement. The secret lies in the vibration you emit as you move. That's what transforms. That's what opens the body, reorders the day, and expands your vibrational field. You don't need to be ready, you just need to be present. The sunrise has always been there, but little by little, humanity forgot how to listen to it. And you, without even noticing, were drawn into an existence where the body wakes before the soul, where time begins to rush before consciousness finds alignment. The law of rhythm is not a theory, It is the very pulse of creation trying to reconnect with yours. When the sun touches your skin in the early hours of the day, it is not just warming your body, it is activating ancient codes, realigning your subtle centers, restoring your inner compass. But that only happens if there is listening, if there is presence, if there is movement that honors the sacred timing of awakening. Today, you learned that there are micro-movements capable of opening neuroquantum portals within your body, that the sacrum is not just bone, it is a vibrational foundation, that the diaphragm is not just muscle, it is a bridge between worlds, and that the skull is not just a container for the mind, but a chalice of light that thinks, feels, and manifests. None of this is too mystical or too scientific. It is simply what it is. Your body is an instrument of synchronicity, and when you tune it to the rhythm of the rising sun, everything begins to pulse in harmony. Your ideas, your emotions, your hormonal cycles, your encounters, your choices. Yes, there will still be turbulent days, but if you have the courage to create just 3 minutes of truth each morning, chaos will not take over, because chaos only dwells where disconnection rules. The law of rhythm teaches that everything oscillates, but it also teaches that it is possible to ride the wave and not be swallowed by it. And that is why this practice exists, to help you remember, to help you reclaim the original language that lives in movement, in silence, and in light. Time is not your enemy, it's just waiting for you to fall into rhythm. As Khalil Gibran once said, eternity is in love with the productions of time. The way you begin the dawn reveals the kind of world you are building within, because the rising of the day is, secretly, the rising of yourself again. And every time you awaken with awareness, you do not simply wake up. You become a new creator of reality. If this content lit something within you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. That strengthens our field and helps this wisdom reach more awakened minds. I invite you to write in the comments the mantra phrase, "I honor the tremor that reconnects me to the pulse of the universe." This affirmation seals your vibrational commitment to the practice and to the sacred language of the body. Share this video with someone who needs to remember the power of being reborn with each sunrise. And don't stop here. Click on the screen and dive into another transformative video on the channel. Remember, the sun rises for everyone, but not everyone knows how to rise with it.